The immortal John Hancock here, and boy, I have some exciting news. Wow, it's been a crazy week before E3. I would love to go sometime. Still teaching. I love teaching. I'm in the classroom. One of these days I'll get to E3. It's been 40 years since Atari came out, 2600, and I'm a huge Atari fan. Obviously, I'm building an expansion to my house to display my Atari collection, both 26, 78, 52, 8-bit. Oh my gosh, I love Atari. But really the 2600 is the console that is near and dear to me. I grew up with Atari. I love Atari. I remember several happy gaming moments of playing Berserk. Huge fan of Berserk. I love the console. I grew up with it. I mean, it means a lot to me. You know, it came out a year after I was born. And, you know, I remember playing a lot of Atari with friends, family. Awesome. Love it. Well, this is the 40th anniversary of the 2600 coming out to the States. And there's some great news. So the big news, and this is not the reason why I'm doing the video today, is the big news that's going around is Atari's teamed up with another company. And Atari, the truth of the matter is Atari is just a shell of what they used to be. But they've teamed up with another company and they teased the Atari Box. Now, there isn't a lot of news on the Atari Box. Over at Atari Age, there's some discussion. And one insider is pretty much saying that it's like a modern console, potentially like a streaming service. My prediction is that the Atari Box is going to be something like Booyah. If it is like that, I'm really interested. I would be excited about that. If you're able to play retro games, emulate retro games, and or purchase new versions of classic Atari games, I'm interested. So the Atari Box is really cool. I mean, it came out of nowhere, so I'm like super excited about that. But that's not why I'm doing this video today. There's also at Games. At Games has announced that they're doing their newer flashback of the series, a Flashback 8 Gold, and it finally after, I don't know, 10 years or so, there's finally a way to play some classic Atari 2600 games, even though the hardware is the software is embedded into the hardware, you know, in 720p or something, and that's cool. That's cool. The newest flashbacks come out. They come out every year. And they're cool. They're good for people that don't collect, that want to play classic Atari games on a modern TV. And that's cool. You know, I think it's finally great that you can do that. But that's not why I'm doing the video today. This is big news. I'm super excited about this. And part of it is I have waited so long, and you know, in the classic gaming forums, people have wanted to play their 2600 games on a clone console on a modern TV. It's, you know, it's been discussed. There's been some prototypes out there that can do it, but nothing commercial, nothing where you could go out and inexpensively purchase something at a decent price. What's been teased and what's been uncovered from some Atari Age members is that Hyperkin is jumping in, and they are making pretty much a clone console that will play Atari 2600 games in 1080p on a modern TV. I am so excited. It's going to be called the Retron 77. 77 is the year that the 2600 came out. I am super excited about this. I know, like, you can emulate games and they play fine, but it's different than sticking a cartridge in, ka-chunk, into a console and playing it on a TV. I am really excited about this. I've wanted this for 10 years. I did reach out to Hyperkin. They haven't responded back to me yet. I hopefully will be able to get a review unit of this once it's available, and I'd love to showcase this on my channel. I'm a huge Atari fan. So essentially there's three companies making three different products, Atari related. They're all official, you know, they're all, one definitely is, you know, your standard flashback now you can play it in high definition. Very cool. You know, eventually I'll be getting one of those and do a review of it. Also, there's the Atari Box, which is like, okay, I'm mildly intrigued by that. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Jonathan Rose, and it's neat to see Atari do something like that. But you know, the chances of it being disappointing people are pretty high. We'll see. We'll see what the price is. We'll see what type of service is it. Does it cost? Is it able to emulate old Atari systems and consoles? That's going to make it more interesting to me. But really, of the 3 items that are potentially being unveiled this next week, the Retron 77. I mean, I just did the Retron HD from Hyperkin. It's a great product. It's not perfect, but you know, it plays Nintendo games. It's only $40. This I'm really excited about. Now, there's a lot of purists out there. Again, if you're a purist, my hat's off to you. There's a lot of people that think that the only way to play Atari 2600 is to play it on a CRT, on a classic console, and that's it. Okay. You know, I'm not here to tell you there's a right or wrong way to play your games, you know. Other people, you know, it's emulation. And the truth is, once you've played Atari 2600 in an emulator and have that crisp, clear image, it's hard to go back. I'm being honest here. I do love original hardware, and I do love playing original cartridges. There's something about that. Now, a lot of people, there's some speculation right now, is this just software emulation? Well, if it's anything like the Retron HD, it's going to be hardware based. I don't know. I have no idea what's gone into this, but we're here to talk about the Retron 77. Is a product like that intrigue you? Just some basic information about it. It's going to come with supposedly a classic style controller, a 3-foot HD cable, and a micro USB, just like the Retron HD, you know, a micro USB for a power cord, which is awesome. Really excited about this. Gosh, I mean, I've wanted a product like this forever, and to finally know that a company's, you know, jumping in and making a 2600 clone system that works on modern TVs. So awesome. I mean, I have some things that I'd want the system to do. I want it to play a Harmony cart. I think for the fans out there, it should or it must play a Harmony cart. There's a lot of people out there. Harmony cartridges is the way to go. It's where they play prototypes, prototype games that weren't released, games that are a work in progress. It's great for homebrewers. I mean, I use my Harmony cart all the time. I think the other thing out there is that it needs to be nearly 100% backwards compatible. There's a lot of people out there, you know, that's the issue with like the Flashback 2, is that you could hack a Flashback 2 to play cartridges, but it wouldn't play all the cartridges. So there's some cartridges out there that many purists are going to want this Retron 77 to play. I am super excited about it. Gosh, man, it's just a great time to be an Atari fan. I mean, I'm a huge Atari fan. I play my system. I try to play it as much as I can. I know right now I'm in the midst of my expansion being built. I'm going to have a room dedicated to my Atari stuff. And so, yeah, I could go on and on and on about how cool this is. I'm super jazzed about the Retron 77. Now the Atari Box, we'll see about that. So what do you think? There's essentially 3 new types of Atari hardware coming out. 2 are working with Atari, and I'm sure Hyperkin is just making this on their own. And so, thoughts about it? What do you think about it? What do you think? Would you be interested in a clone console being able to play your 2600 games on a modern TV, 1080p? Comment below. I'd love to hear back from you. Is the Atari Box something you're intrigued by, or are you skeptic of everything and just gonna play 2600 on your original hardware, going old school? You know, I know people out there, some classic gamers, and that's the only way they play is on a CRT. That's the way to go. There's other gamers out there, emulation baby. That's the only way they go. And then there's people like me that I'm a collector, but I love to play my collection. And so comment below. I'd love to hear back on anything that I announce on here. What do you think of these? Are you interested? Thank you so much. I have received so many positive comments from around the world. It warms my heart. It motivates me to do more of these. I was super excited. I got up super early. I went to bed late, and I couldn't wait to talk about this. I love Atari, and I'm so happy that clone hardware is going to continue to live on, and for people to get into Atari affordable and play it on modern TVs. So that's a big challenge out there, is that these classic consoles, you know, when you hook them up to a modern TV, for the most part, they don't look great. And so for people that just want to retro and on a budget, I think this is awesome. I do 3 videos a week, one on Tuesdays, one on Thursdays, and one on Sundays. I typically upload at 8 o'clock in the morning on Pacific Standard Time. I also have a Patreon in which, for as little as $1 a month, you can subscribe to me and get an exclusive video. I'm super excited. Gosh, now I have to wait. It's like, no, gosh, you know, E3 is this next week, and then more information will be coming out on these consoles, on this hardware, and I can't wait. Take care. My hat's off to all the fans and viewers around the world. It helps me out. Please like and subscribe. This is the immortal John Hancock. Take care.